Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today, we're diving face first into a hairy situation, one that has shaped history, defined masculinity, and even started a few brawls. We're talking about the epic, centuries-long saga I like to call the War of the Whiskers. You might think your beard is just a personal style choice, but for most of human history, it's been so much more. It's been a symbol of wisdom, power, rebellion, and even cleanliness, or the lack thereof. Let's rewind the clock. In ancient Egypt, the pharaohs wore intricate, false metal beards called postiches. Why? Because the beard was a sign of divinity and kingship. Even female pharaohs like Hatshepsut were depicted wearing one. It wasn't about gender, it was about divine authority. Meanwhile, over in ancient Greece, the beard was the ultimate status symbol for a free man. Philosophers like Socrates and Plato sported magnificent beards, seeing them as a physical representation of their intellectual prowess. To have your beard forcibly shaved was one of the highest forms of humiliation. It was like saying you had no wisdom, no honor. Alexander the Great, however, threw a massive wrench in this tradition. He famously ordered all his soldiers to be clean-shaven. His reasoning was purely tactical. In close combat, a beard was a convenient handle for an enemy to grab. Suddenly, the clean-shaven look became associated with the disciplined, modern soldier. The Roman Empire largely followed suit, and for centuries, being clean-shaven was the mark of a civilized Roman, while a beard was for the barbarians at the gates. But like any good war, the tides always turn. Fast forward to the Viking Age. Can you even picture a Viking without a massive, probably braided, beard? Of course not. For Norsemen, a full beard was a sign of virility and strength. They took immense pride in their facial hair, often grooming it with combs they carried with them everywhere. A man without a beard was mockingly called beardless, a serious insult to his manhood. Then came the Middle Ages, a truly confusing time for whiskers. Depending on the decade and the king in charge, beards could be in one year and out the next. In England, for a while, the clergy were required to be clean-shaven to distinguish them from the laity. But then, you get to the Renaissance, and suddenly, beards are back with a vengeance. Look at portraits of Henry VIII or Leonardo da Vinci. Their beards are elaborate, styled, and a clear statement of their power and creativity. The stiletto beard, the spade beard, these weren't accidents. They were high fashion. The 18th century saw another dramatic shift. The Enlightenment valued reason and order, and this was reflected in a clean-shaven aesthetic. Powdered wigs and smooth chins became the look of the aristocracy in places like France and England. A beard was seen as rustic, unrefined, and something for the lower classes. But then, the 19th century arrived, and with it, the glorious Victorian era, the absolute golden age of the beard. The beard movement was a real thing. Doctors claimed beards were natural filters that protected against germs and pollution from the industrial cities. They were a symbol of a rugged, patriarchal masculinity. From the poets like Tennyson to political figures like Abraham Lincoln, the beard reigned supreme. Lincoln, famously, was the first U.S. president with a full beard, apparently grown after an 11-year-old girl named Grace Bedell wrote to him, saying he'd look better and get more votes with one. He won the election, and the beard became an iconic part of his image. The 20th century, however, brought about the war to end all beard wars, literally. World War I. Just like with Alexander the Great, the need for a proper seal on a gas mask meant soldiers had to be clean-shaven. This military requirement, combined with the invention of the disposable safety razor by companies like Gillette, made daily shaving easy, affordable, and a patriotic duty. For the next 50 years, the clean-shaven look dominated Western culture. A beard was for hippies, academics, or lumberjacks, people on the fringes of society. And that brings us to today. In the 21st century, the War of the Whiskers has reached a sort of ceasefire. We're living in a time of unprecedented beard freedom. The hipster movement of the 2010s brought the full beard roaring back into the mainstream, and now anything goes. A full beard, a stylish goatee, a classic mustache, or a clean-shaven face, they're all just choices. The war isn't over, but the battlefield has changed. It's no longer about conforming to a single standard of masculinity dictated by kings or generals. It's about personal expression. Your facial hair, or lack thereof, is your flag. You get to decide what it represents. So next time you look in the mirror, whether you're trimming your beard or lathering up for a shave, remember the long, dramatic history that brought you to this moment. You're a part of the ongoing war of the whiskers. Thanks so much for watching. What's your take on beards? Let me know in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this historical deep dive, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe for more stories. We'll see you in the next one.